So super excited to work with Stellantis, a great brand, a great bunch of people, and also a really open and interested team to work with. So from that point of view, just even before we got to the technical, really excited. I think we were excited because it's a great use case. They have lots of people in dealerships who have this real challenge, a genuine challenge of being able to find things. They have lots of content that is available for people. So it's kind of trying to marry those two pieces in a really genuinely useful way. So, and an ideal use case for MyContentScout as well. So I'm Matt Wicks. I am the co-CEO for technology and innovation at the Virtual Forge. So I basically run the technology side of the Virtual Forge, and I am a long-standing technology lover, basically.
Hi, I'm Phil Price. I'm the Performance Academy Director at Stellantis. I've been in the company now for over 30 years. And through that time, 30 years, I've been in training for about 15 of those years. And in those 15 years, we've completely written the rule book up in terms of learning and development. And we've gone through a lot of transition changes in terms of technology, the use of technology. We've worked really closely with Virtual Forge over a long period of time on a number of projects through virtual delivery and so on and so forth. And I think that, what I've been able to probably do over the last couple of years is really think about where are the gaps in our delivery solution, where are they? Again, we come up with real quick and innovative ways to deliver training and information. But when I sit down, I still hear the same points of view from the retailers and our customers. Can't find it, don't know where it is. And actually, I think probably over that time, what I've been able to do is understand that we've created that much content. We've actually got 10 versions of the same piece of training, because we forget about number 1, and then we create number 2, then we create number 3, but all of them are available. So using that kind of methodology and that thought process across that whole journey, and the onset of AI, I thought to myself, how can AI help us combat this multitude of content across this kind of ever-changing learning and development piece to bring that to the forefront, and the ability, we talk about moment of need, don't we? Moment of need is 24/7 in our retail network. I need to know something now. And in my view, when I spoke to a couple of retailers, if they can't find it in a couple of minutes, they make a poor decision, or they move forward on what they believe is right. And unfortunately, that isn't always the case. And that impacts on their ability to make profit, customer experience, and so on and so forth. So that was kind of how the thought process between AI, all of our content came together into Scout, effectively.
So what we found with MyContentScout is we have some ideas of what it will do, and every time we show somebody new, they've got another use case where they can see it working. So with Stellantis, it's been great because we've gone in and they have a very clear need to roll it out to the dealerships. This could revolutionize the whole way we think about training. And I think at a fundamental level, that's one of the promises that Scout has, because you can go in and you can find things at the point of need. You can pull information to you exactly when you need it. It's a virtuous circle because people can see what you're looking for. You can track it, you can plug it into LMSs and so on to track it as well. You can tie it to your CMS in order to see, okay, who's been training this and therefore what sales have they done and so on. And I think it just helps get people to think differently about it and engage with a single tool, which then hides all of those multiple other tools which are under, and people get kind of confused and irritated by all of the other tools, whereas Stellantis have chosen to bring up this tool kind of one level over the top. All the information is still there, all in exactly the same place, but you can now access it in a way that's bizarrely more human than ever before.
Yeah, I think that, it's really important. I've said that I've been in training for quite a while, and we've gone through a massive journey of completely changing the dynamic and the delivery solutions that we have. And I think that what has always been important to me is that there are hundreds and hundreds of companies out there that are thousands, millions now probably, that are working with AI. There are lots and lots of companies that are working with all sorts of learning technologies and so on and so forth. And I think what I like to try and do is work with companies that have never let me down, that have always delivered the right solution, have listened to what we need to achieve, and then a partnership, which is how I like to work with external resources. And that's why we were, again, it wasn't dead easy for me, right? Who can help me in this sphere? You know, I think about how I want to go towards a project. We pick the supplier. I don't have many. I have very, very narrow field of suppliers, and obviously Virtual Forge is one of those. And it didn't take very long for them to understand what direction of travel I wanted to go in, and then obviously the onset of Scout and the delivery of it. I think we turned it around in super quick time. This is usually the case when we work together.
Hopefully it'll have a really positive effect. I mean, there was a McKinsey survey that said that average knowledge worker spends 1.8 hours a day trying to find things. And having spoken to people in the dealerships and so on and understood their point of view, I think you see immediately they've got lots of different things, from sales documents to policies to latest information to announcements. As the industry is changing so fast as it moves to EV, there's a lot of information that they've got to absorb. And it's very hard if it all arrives in an email or it all is on an intranet somewhere. It's very hard to actually then sit down. I've got a busy customer, I've got to go and find this information, or I know this policy came through, but is this the latest version, or is this the latest version? So, by giving them a tool that in one place they can just go and find all that information and find the latest version of that information and get it summarized so they don't have to wade through 400 pages of information, that should drive forward their productivity, but more importantly, or perhaps as importantly, it drives down their frustration with the barriers to the information. The system should be the deliverer of the information, not the barrier to the information. And I definitely felt, talking to people in Stellantis, that breaking through those barriers was something that MyContentScout was well suited to doing.